Greetings and welcome to the Dr. J Vlog Series. It's Tuesday, August 19th, 2025, and on Tuesdays we talk about music and the arts. The theme for the Dr. J Vlog Series this week is deference, and this is the concept of showing respectful humility towards your elders and towards your superiors, shall we say, people who are experts and who have abilities and capacities and knowledge and wisdom and so forth, at least in certain areas that far exceed that of the average person, or you or myself. And so today, for music and the arts, I want to do a peak performance. Not that this is the peak performance of this particular artist, but he's an incredibly talented artist and guitarist, and maybe one of the best in the world. I don't know how you judge these things in the end. But when I first saw this particular individual, he completely blew me away with his dexterity, with his ability, with the complicated rhythms and melodies that he was able to play simultaneously. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today. This is just one such example. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about Tommy Emmanuel, or Emmanuel. He's an incredibly talented guitarist out of Australia, I believe, originally. And he's the kind of person who, when you see him play guitar, and I actually hope to see him live in concert in a couple of months, if all goes well. But he's the type of person that when you see him play, if you're a musician, you can't have anything but ultimate respect for the guy. And I'll explain a little bit more about that in a moment. But I just want to give you, hopefully this won't get blocked, but I want to give you a peek into what he's able to do. And so, yeah, I'm just going to play some snippets of this, and you'll get a sense of what I'm talking about. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to stop it there. Again, I don't know what's going to happen with this, but yeah, he's playing Day Tripper by the Beatles, but he's not just playing Day Tripper, the rhythm guitar part. He's also playing the underlying bass line, the famous lick that George Harrison opens with, and then McCartney mimics it as well on the bass guitar. So when they're playing together, so he's playing then the kind of the rhythm guitar. But he's also playing the underlying the famous lick, and he's also playing the melody of the song simultaneously. It's just amazing. I know other people can do it, and there's actually a tutorial online if you want to try to learn. I started to try, but it's just beyond me. So yeah, it's this kind of creativity and mastery of the instrument that just blows me away. And he's the kind of person who, well, and this is echoing another comment that I read, it's the kind of person who makes me just never want to pick up a guitar again after listening to him play. So, well, I'll never be able to sound like that or be able to do that. But then I've rethought it, and I realized that, oh, yeah, it's like playing basketball or anything else. There are people that are just way beyond your abilities, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't still play, that we still shouldn't do what we can do and enjoy it for what we're able to do, and so on. So yeah, I keep playing, but again, I just have to bow down to, to me, he's just one of the gods of, of the car. And of course, there are many out there. There's so many talented, unbelievable virtuosos on guitar, on you name the instrument, and so on. But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out and so deference to Tommy Emmanuel. And the other reason is because apparently he's an even nicer guy than he is a great guitarist. So there's a story of a guy who's brought his guitar. He saw him play. He was signing autographs or whatever after the show. The guy brought his guitar, or maybe it was at a guitar convention. I'm not sure which. But anyway, the guy brought his own guitar and explained to Tommy Emmanuel that he was having problems with it. And so Tommy just sort of dropped everything, took the guitar, put it on a table or something, looked at the neck, started taking it apart, and helped fix the guy's guitar. He's just that kind of guy. He's brilliant and yet humble and helpful. And he just conveys this idea that, well, first of all, that he has such absolute joy when he plays. And he wants you to have that joy as well, whether that be through watching him or maybe in giving tips and advice or helping to further you or build your own confidence or just help you repair your guitar. So yeah, ultimate respect for this type of individual. Okay, I'll play a little bit more. He goes into Lady Madonna as well. Again, I don't know if this is going to get blocked, but let's listen to a little bit more of Tommy Emmanuel. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it there. As I say, I don't know what's gonna happen with this video, but I'm gonna leave the link below, obviously, so you can just listen to the whole 4.5 minutes of him playing both songs uninterrupted, obviously. A couple of other quick notes. When I stopped it the first time, I meant to point out too, he actually made a mistake. Like who am I to say? But he kind of laughs. So if you go back in that part of the clip, so there's just one note that he plays the wrong note, quite frankly, in the melody portion of Day Tripper. But he just kind of, and the reason I know that that's wrong, first of all, by my ear, I know what note is quote unquote supposed to go there. Secondly, he laughs at himself, but he just keeps going. Of course, the note sounds fine, anyway, it's not out of tune or it's not out of key. It still fits, but he knew it was the wrong note. So he gave himself a chuckle. So yeah, even the masters miss a note here or there. But so I wanted to mention that, and then the final thing that I wanted to mention about Tommy Emmanuel is that he's willing to sort of support other artists too. So he's willing to play backup or the accompaniment. He doesn't have to be the star himself. Again, it's just that kind of humble greatness, if you will. So he does live shows. He does play, a lot of solos. He tells stories. As I say, I'm hoping to be able to see him in a couple of months myself in Michigan. Fingers crossed, and hopefully he's healthy. And then the final thing I wanted to mention about him is that, he's so good. How can that be? Well, yeah, you have to play hours upon hours, but here's the thing. Even at his more advanced age, and maybe because of that, I've seen him in interviews talk about how he played for 3 or 4 hours that morning just to practice, just to keep sharp. So in other words, use it or lose it. So he's constantly keeping his fingers and his brain and his guitars, he's keeping everything up to speed and to maintain that high level of performance. And obviously, if he didn't, he'd be concerned that he'd start losing some of those abilities. We all go through declines as we age, obviously. And he's doing his best in all senses to stave that off. So again, just another example of what one can do if one commits oneself fully. And that's what Emmanuel has done. So if you want to be an absolute world-class performer, or at, whatever the endeavor, you really do have to focus and commit to that and spend countless hours working on your craft. Whether you're talking about being a guitarist, whether you're talking about being a good carpenter, whether you're talking about being a good comedian, whether you're talking about being a good parent, you name it. Whatever we devote our energies to, obviously, that's what's going to yield the most results. And we can't do everything, so you really do have to pick and choose to some extent in terms of what you want to prioritize. But again, the theme this week is deference, and I just wanted to give a shout out to this one of many amazing performers out there. And I'll do more of these in the future, and I'll talk about other incredible artists down the road as well. All right, thanks for listening, and hope to see you soon.